not a very imposing cover, is it? A couple of stamps and an address and a couple of very faint postmarks. One of the stamps is from Dominica and the other one is marked Leeward Islands. And I have a close-up view in a little bit. The letter or the cover is addressed to Fifth Avenue, New York City, which perhaps accounts for some of the rate. The usual rate in the 1920s and 1930s for these George V stamps was a penny post. But this went overseas because the Leeward Islands are down in the Caribbean. Let me go ahead and have the next one. One of the stamps is, as I mentioned, Dominica. The others is Leeward Island. The Leeward Islands was a loose government federation for several British colonies. Well, they weren't even colonies then. Antigua, Montserrat, back up one. Backwards. There we go. St. Kitts with two satellite islands, Nevis and Anguilla. Dominica and the British Virgin Islands. The Leeward Islands issued stamps valid in all of those colonies from 1890 to 1956 when the Federation was dissolved. Most of those islands had at this time very low population, maybe even not enough to form a decent government, which is why they confederated into this Leeward Islands combination. All right, go ahead, Mike. Maybe you can see this a little bit better. The Dominica stamp is George V with the seal of the colony. And it's for a half penny. The Leeward Islands stamp is George V. No seal because it was valid in all of the colonies. Each of the colonies incidentally could issue their own stamps, and the Leeward Islands stamps were valid in any of them. This was a 3-penny stamp, and if you can tell, the color is violet on yellow paper.
I see that.
There are 2 faint circular postmarkings, one here and one here. Takes a magnifying glass to read them, and the best I could do was to get a date, December 6th, 1923, and the marking GPO for General Post Office. I could not detect a city name, or I couldn't figure out a city name. Okay, go to the next one, Mike. Okay, there. I'm guessing that this might have been a Christmas card. It's an unusual size. And the date, December 6, 1923, might be also indicative of it being a Christmas card. On the other hand, against that, it was sent to the sales division of the British American Tobacco Company. So why would you send a Christmas card there? I don't know. Okay, next one. All right, there they are again. And let's try to figure out which stamps they are. Fortunately, if you look up Dominica, you find this stamp. There's only one variety of this half-penny green and black stamp, and it's cop number 65, and it's not a very imposing stamp. The Leeward Islands, as I mentioned, is a 3-penny violet on yellow paper, and it turns out there are 3 possibilities, which is what you often run into with these kinds of British colonial stamps. Number 51, number 58, and number 72. Go to the next one, Mike. Number 51 and number 58 are listed by Scott as Die 1, Watermark 3, and they were issued in 1912. Number 72 is Die 2, Watermark 4, issued in 1921. Our cover is postmarked 1923, so it could be any of those 3. In the front of the Scott catalogs, you will find a diagram of the markings on Die 1 and Die 2 in enlarged photographs, so that with arrows pointing out the differences. And if you look at those closely and then look at this stamp, you determine that it's Die 1, which which reduces the possibilities now to 51 and 58. Number 58 was issued on what's called surface colored paper, meaning the color is only on the top surface of the stamp. The back of the stamp is white. Well, unfortunately, it's on the envelope. And I'm not going to soak it off to determine it. The same problem would occur if there were a watermark problem, but the dye differences take care of the watermarks. If you look very carefully through a high-powered glass at the edges of the perforations, so that will take you down through the paper, but from the side, they appear to me to be yellow. So my best guess is for the identification of the 3-penny stamp is number 51, which is probably consistent. Number 58 catalogs at $180. So it's unlikely. Although unlikely events do happen.
Yep.
They do happen. Okay, I think that's it. Yep. Thank you all.